Hi there, it's channel update monologue time again. Yippee! Last update video got derailed by my first blue screen in a few months, so obviously it was fated for me to do better, or at least be different. I'll see whether that actually turns out to be true. This update video will drag. I want to talk about a few different subjects, both Let's Get On With It Local and Let's Get On With It Live. Let's get started with local. There has been some activity this month, not too terribly much. I have been handling other affairs, ranging from multiple uninvited guests, to me choke-slamming dogs, to me punching someone in the face, to finding true love. And one of those things isn't true. It's been active, an active August for me. But I've still found some time to play Crusader No Remorse. We're roughly 2/3 through that game. Diablo 2, my hardcore Javazon. That series will be ending soon, in one way or another. And Shadowrun 4th Edition, which, as you can see by the timestamps for some of these sessions, eats up some of my time. And the sessions are also at an ungodly hour. I want to take a moment to talk about the end of the Thief 2 series that ended last month. We'll click on the video for the final session here. I won't have a full-blown discussion about it as I did in the update video that doesn't exist anymore, but I'll go ahead and show off the video description here. Essentially, during the last mission of Thief 2, the mission was so dark that I needed to adjust the gamma, which wasn't true for me at any point during the session, during the entire playthrough of the game. And when I uploaded those videos that had the adjusted gamma, that's when I noticed that the videos that YouTube processed looked different than the ones on my computer, which looked different, which also looked different than the actual gameplay. I hadn't noticed that in any of the videos beforehand until this final session, whenever I did the final mission, whenever I had to adjust the gamma. So, in short, further proof that I don't understand technology and that my eyesight is bad. To wit, I, over the course of my time using a computer, have had an easier time discerning things than others have, and I've attributed that to my monitor's brightness, and some quality eyesight. Whenever Lethal did his playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 3, it comes to mind, he was doing a screen share with me, and I was helping him to navigate through, the super dark cavern section that he couldn't see at all, that I could. But there you go. YouTube processing. Me. I'm fallible. YouTube has some built-in tools to adjust processing. Well, Creator Studio was a thing, but they're phasing that out due to it not being used so much. Anyway, there you go. There's that. That wasn't even for the month of August, but it wasn't covered in the last update video, I don't think, so yeah. As I noted, roughly 2/3 through Crusader No Remorse. Diablo 2 will be coming to an end. I can't swear to what projects we'll be tackling next. One thing that comes to mind is a Rewarding to Rewarders request that Tiny Shopkeeper actually swapped to. Originally, the request for this slot was The Witcher 2, which I had installed on my computer for 3 years. I was planning on starting it before Witcher 3 came out. Then my dad's medical condition took a tailspin, which kept spiraling and spiraling down until his death the year after. And so I uninstalled that from my computer. As it turns out, Tiny Shopkeeper has, in the place of that, requested Star Ocean: The Second Story, which I do own. I played. Last time I played was my final year of college. I went back and replayed through it. There's no way that Rewarding to Rewarders request will cover the full extent of that game. So I can't swear to finishing it, but we can at least do the first disc, and it'll be fun. It's been a while since I've played it. I do like the game. Story is... Well, we'll talk about that when we actually get through that. So I believe my next project is going to be that. I've been kicking around other things from the request list, the old RTR list that I want to do. Been trying to get like a few of them to work with mixed results. The original Shogun Total War has been a severe pain to record. I wanted to do the original. The requester noted that the second one was okay too. But I bought the first, expecting to be able to do the first, and it's... what's the name of the other game? Red Faction? I think that's Blade Skull's request, who requested Red Faction. And I've had a bitch trying to get that to record, too. So I'm still wrestling with filling out some of the requests. And then there's others where I've looked at and I'm like, maybe not do this right now. I can see some other problems coming up. Like Populous the New Beginning is on the request list. Is that Dolan who requested that? I don't remember off the top of my head. Maybe. I'm not gonna look it up right now. But yeah, like Populous the New Beginning. It's a game that I have, and I'm also like, not sure how I'm gonna be able to get to record that. Short of using a virtual machine, which is a thing. Anyway, Grimith is still plugging away at fussing with bits and bobs. There you go, there's that. So no guarantee on what projects are coming up next, other than most likely Star Ocean, the second story, is going to be one of them, unless I decide it would be more fun to gouge out my eyeballs, which, since I'm not that into eye horror, probably means we're playing Star Ocean, the second story. Oh, we won't even get that far in 15 hours. Well, we'll see. Anyway, that takes care of that conversation. So, I don't have anything for you all to really look forward to as far as Let's Get On With It Local is concerned, unless you're into Star Ocean or into JRPGs or are into questionable dialogue, anime dialogue, or into me suffering. I think I still remember how some of those game mechanics go. Guess we'll find out. So, beyond that, the other main topic that I want to have for this update video is Let's Get On With It Live. The last time that I went live was during Twitch Adventure Week, where I was basically taking Twitch for a test drive to see how I felt about the service due to some complications I was having with Mixer, which I talked about during last month's channel update, and I would refer you to that to get the details on why I did like the Twitch stream week. We had some fun. I didn't upload every single thing that I streamed, but almost all of it. Funny aside, Necromancer returns. So the dev of that contacted me to ask me to do some voice work for reading the ending comic cinematic as well as the introductory comic cinematic, which I did for them. So I guess my voice is going to be in that game that I didn't finish because it was mediocre. Yeah. That's a thing. Right. So, anyway, after I did Twitch Adventure Week, I said that I was going to create like a forum for like a long form like area where people could like write to me if they didn't want to like email me or if they didn't want to put in YouTube comments, which are still very much open to you, the viewer. This is how I read through comments these days. There is a comment section in Creator Studio that I have kept in a tab on my browser for over a year at this point. Way over a year. Probably over 2 years. I can't remember how long I've actually kept the thing open. But I've used that in combination with the YouTube notifications up there in the top right, which are spotty and completely didn't work for me at all through the month of July. And then started working again. I turned on email notifications, so I get emails for those. You'll see that the bell up there at the top right doesn't flawlessly display every comment I recently got, but the bell up there is what will also give me notifications for someone replies to a comment I left on someone else's video. Which is important, because I would like to keep track of those things if I'm trying to have a conversation with someone over YouTube. A point being that while comments have undoubtedly slipped through the cracks over the past 8 years, I have a system for keeping on top of things, and YouTube cooperates most of the time. Anyway, I'm looking for viewer feedback as I look between twitch.tv/Grimith and mixer.com/Grimith. I will provide you, the viewers, my own experiences, both as a viewer and as a broadcaster. I first learned of Beam, which became Mixer, back in the summer of 2016. I wasn't available to use it at the time, though. That was shortly after my father's death, and I just wasn't in the mood for much of anything. It wasn't until late November, early December, especially whenever I went to Lethal's house at the start of December that year, 2016, that I started taking like a real hard look at Beam, and then wanted to use it. And I have been, since that time, using it as my streaming service. For a time, I was partnered on there. There was a whole conversation about why I haven't been partnered there for almost a year. It's been close to 11 months. That's almost a year, right? Time is all relative. Gosh, I did a better job discussing this in the first update video. Right, so, anyway, I enjoy Mixer. It has a very small chat delay. The folks that I've met through the service, I've enjoyed their company. I've made some friendships. It's been a good way for me to spend my time. I like Mixer's format and user interface generally. But I've had my own problems and complications with the service. And those really crop up as a viewer due to just some real difficulties with watching broadcasts. Not to the extent that Hitbox gave difficulties watching broadcasts back in the day, but some real sticking points that I've known bother people using the service and have precluded some of my viewers from wanting to watch me on the service. Then we have Twitch, the venerable Twitch at this point, whose low latency beta doesn't make it as awesome to communicate through as Mixers, but I mean, it is a more stable service. That is a summary of my feelings. The nuanced details have apparently escaped me right now. Now I'm flustered. Now I'm annoyed at myself. I should have wrote these down. This is a time where I thought I had it all in my head. Ultimately, how I'm feeling is I'm going to start using Twitch again for most of my broadcasts. But if there's something that depends on viewer interactivity, and speed of it, like if I did another King of Dragon Pass thing, for instance, where I went like lightning quick response times from viewers, went in like the built-in poll instead of having to use a third-party thing, in those cases I would want to use Mixer. Because the faster-than-light protocol, like the chat delay there, is better than Twitch's, at the cost of greater instability. And, yeah. Otherwise, Twitch just provides a more stable experience as a streamer, and a more stable experience for viewers. That said, I want to watch broadcasts through Mixer, and want to interact more through Mixer, and there's people whose broadcasts I enjoy watching in Mixer. That I'm not much of a live stream watcher anyway. I haven't been in general, unless it's been like friends, and even then I like watching streams after the fact instead of in the moment. But like whenever I started using Beam, which became Mixer, like that was a turning point for me. Fuck, I don't feel like I'm making sense at all now. I totally said this better in the last video. Past Grimith was better. Right, so that's how I feel right now, and I would like to collect viewer feedback from your experiences, both in watching streams on Twitch and Mixer, as well as if you've broadcasted on Twitch and Mixer, like how things have gone for you. I'm not looking for an argument about Amazon is the worst thing ever, or Microsoft is the worst thing ever. I want, like, genuine, like, viewer experiences that you would be willing to share with me. Either, like, you can leave them in the comments for this video, on my Discord server, discord.gg/Grimith, is how you can access that. I'm going to have an entire separate channel open to, like, for, like, long-form discussion, if you'd like to write about it there. I'm interested in collecting viewer knowledge about that because it could end up changing my mind on how I plan on broadcasting moving forward. I do like my broadcasts for viewer interactivity. They're a different slice of getting viewer interactivity instead of my local stuff. And I enjoy both my local and live things. But, you know, like, I want viewers to be as comfortable as I can make them? That doesn't sound like me at all. Look, I want the discomfort to come from me belittling you, not because you're having trouble using the service. There we go. There we go. Nicely done, Grimith. Okay. Yeah, I've done a terrible job of conveying my thoughts and feelings. Fuck it. We did it live. Moving on. Yeah, looking for viewer feedback. As it stands right now, I expect my broadcast to be done over Twitch. That I want to get done, unless they're, like, really dependent on lightning quick viewer interaction, or if I have, like, a co-commentator along with me. In which case, I would want to use Mixer instead of Twitch. Mixer ends up serving as a great fallback, too, if something should end up happening to Twitch, my experiences, for whatever reason. But it is the more stable of the two, and the low latency beta does make it more convenient to communicate with viewers. You know, it's not a horrific, like, 20-25 second delay. For some viewers, it ends up being like a 5 to 8 second delay on chat. Not as great as, say, like, 1-2 seconds on Mixer. But can't have everything, right? If only. I want it all. Alright. Now that I completely butchered that request for communication and feedback from you, the viewer, which is welcome in general anyway across the board, but I specifically figured, like, it's worth mentioning for this because I'm undecided and would like experiences and feedback from you, the viewer, about how easy or how difficult it is for you to use or access something, and what you would enjoy viewing me on more. I've got viewers that will only, like, that are not going to follow me from Mixer to Twitch, and I've got viewers who won't follow me from Twitch to Mixer. Like, I access, like, different parts of my viewer base and interact with different folks. One of the cool experiences I did have on Mixer was a time where the partnership team, like the Mixer staff folks, requested that I take their dashboard functionality for a spin, which, like, has your stream elevated to, like, this is like a partner thing, to one of the prominence feature spots on for Xbox users. And during one of those streams, I had a viewer come in who hadn't watched me for years and was checking it before school and was spooked to see that I was on their Xbox. They came in like, "Hey, how's it going? How are you?" And that was cool. Like, there's no, like, long-term, like, meaningful connection from that. It was, "Hey, how are you?" But that fact was cool. And Mixer has had sprinklings of cool things in it, like Zerfall's last charity broadcast and the time before that are really cool. Like the interactivity controls where you can have people play 100 World Story, like using the controls, like, just really neat. Alright. So that's enough talking about Let's Go with the Live. Like I said, I'm looking for viewer feedback, whether in the comments. You're not going to really be able to use YouTube messaging since they're phasing out that functionality too. You can always email the official business email of the channel that isn't interested in business offers. That's grimith@zoho.com. And you can use my Discord. I suppose you could also tweet at me if you were so inclined. Yeah, pretty much covers it. Great. Horrifically mangled, but we somehow managed to pull it together. Well done, Grim. The final thing that I need to do is deliver insults to people, yes. Because at the end of last year, I created a Patreon, and there are people who, for whatever foolish reason, have contributed to the update video insult goal. Where at the end of my monthly channel update videos, I will read your possibly mispronounced name and insult you for what you have done. And I also send out kitschy postcards. I mailed those national and international. Yeah, postcards. Kitschy trinkets for dumb fools. Which could be you. Corporate Grimith there, in action. So, let's start off the list. First off, we have Nick King. Congratulations on making even more poor life choices. You could have just gone through the $10 goal and gotten yourself a wonderful kitschy trinket, and that's it. But instead you contributed extra dollars. You even went above and beyond the $25 goal, which makes you a damn fool, and you don't deserve to have that money. I'll take good care of it for you. Longshot137, we've talked about your name before and how much of a failing. You provided a failed attempt at a justification in a prior update video, but here we are again. You too could have also just chosen to get a kitschy trinket, but that wasn't good enough for you. You had to be insulted, so here's your shout out for wasting my time. Lieutenant Smash, what the actual fuck? Lieutenant of Poor Life Choices, there we go. That was almost like a dad joke. We have Star with your dumb skeleton avatar. Seriously. Who has, like, a creepy, like, cowled, you know, face with glowing eyes as an avatar? Who fucking does that? You're a chump. We have Zachary McKinley, which I read your address, your shipping address, and it looks like you vomited all over my monitor. Like, fucking Canadian addresses, man. I looked at that and I was like, how the fuck do I write that on the postcard? So, my insult is towards where you live. It's shit. We have Mog, who joined us in dying in the trash fire, won some fans, lost many others. Mog, why? Why are you here? Haven't you done enough for the channel? Think about what you're doing. Consider making better life choices, okay? You can do this. Maybe. Kupo. Applejack, I told you to go be a pony or something, and apparently that means giving me money. So, I mean, for a long time I thought like horses and ponies were effectively like the same thing, and ponies were baby horses. So that was a revelation that occurred late in my life, I would say. And all that is to say that you're a horrible person for trying to confuse everyone, and you're part of the problem, and you need to be part of the solution. So take that money and go get some rehab for yourself. And finally, the person who has literally way too much money and way too much time, Tiny Shopkeeper, the keeper of tiny shops. If there were like a Grand Supreme Patron trophy for someone who's made the poorest of life choices over all these years, regarding Let's Get On With It, besides me, it would be Tiny Shopkeeper, who, when I took a tumble back in like the summer of 2011, and fell down a flight of stairs and wrecked that laptop, in the February of the year after, Tiny said that he had a laptop that was gathering dust, gathering sand, and sent that to me. And I recorded on that from, like, February 2012 to the summer of 2013, when I bought this computer I'm currently using. Tiny Shopkeeper, who's visited me where I live, who bought me sushi, who discovered how difficult it is to communicate with people while playing a shitty game called Oni, who while I was doing a charity live stream playing Civilization 5, offered me money and paid me it was more than the advertised $700 to stop playing Civilization 5, to start playing Phantasy Star 4 again. He's done too fucking much. He sent me, like, air management from Japan. I have it sitting on my entertainment cabinet. I can't fucking read moon runes, man. None of it makes sense. Done way too fucking much. And, like, I still have a few more requests from him to flesh out, of course. Including the Witcher 2, which was turned into Star Ocean the Second Story, which will be a better play than yet another blind run of someone doing Witcher 2 on the internet, but still. Motherfucker. You've done way too much. Yeah, you're a terrible fucking human being for enabling me. There you go. I found a way to insult you. Alright, that took a lot out of me. Oh, wow, look at the time for this update video. This was more coherent the first time through. Perhaps it's better if I make less sense and get frustrated at myself. It leads to greater entertainment, right? When I just ramble on aimlessly without any sense or clue as to what I'm doing at all. Yeah, that makes for good viewing and good listening. Take care, everyone. We'll possibly interact in future Let's Get On With Adventures, or maybe we'll all get fucked together. One grand orgy sponsored by Tiny Shopkeeper, the keeper of tiny orgies.